I don't think it's a secret that the internet is a place full of opportunity. I'm sure you guys have at least once found yourself dreaming, what would it be like to be a rich YouTuber? Well, as it turns out, the answer is, unsurprising, it's pretty awesome. Who wouldn't want to have a mansion, supercars, fame, the chance to meet your favorite people, all the while doing something that you would have done otherwise just because you like it so much? But a question that's often connected to these talks, and one I'm sure you guys are probably wondering about, is what exactly is the limit to earning money through YouTube? And I'm not talking about your legal and financial agreements that may decide how much you can make in ad revenue from your videos. No, today, we're taking a look at everything. Sponsors, merchandise, right? We're going to be taking a look at the most well-paid people in the YouTube industry. And while some of these names were pretty expected, boy, let me tell you, this video gets pretty wild. So let's not waste any more time because here are the richest YouTubers in the world, starting with number 10, prestonarsement. Having earned $16 million in this year alone, you'd be forgiven if you have not heard of this guy before, at least if you're not a Zoomer. But I would really start to worry about your mental situation if you're not familiar with the kind of YouTuber that Preston is. That's right, the very first pick on our list is none other than the memed-to-death cliche of a Minecraft YouTuber. As for him specifically, Preston runs a whole bunch of YouTube channels, which is becoming more and more of a trend these days, and will be something that we see more of as we go along. But the most important one of these is his main channel, Preston Plays, which contains exactly the kind of content you expect from a Minecraft YouTuber. He does plays and challenges and basically anything that is hot in the Minecraft world right now, and has earned nearly 12 million subscribers in just 4 years. Let's just say he doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. Case in point, the next person on our list. Number 9, Logan Paul. I'm pretty sure at this point even your Amish uncle will have some idea of who the Paul brothers are, and it seems like they'll be remembered in the future too, seeing as their careers are basically the digital equivalent of the Hydra. Cut one head off and 2 more will grow in its place. That's right, Vine's golden boy makes a return to the list with a whopping $18 million in revenue. And in a way, it's not even a surprise that even after all the controversy in the world, this guy's still kicking it. From making a name for himself in boxing as the guy who fought Floyd Mayweather. That's right, you heard me correct. Floyd Mayweather for clout, to making an actually revolutionary decision by jumping onto the NFT bandwagon early. Let's just say that Logan, I may not understand what it is that you do, but I sure respect how good you are at doing it. Number 8, Dudeperfect. You guys knew that they were gonna be on the list. And with one of the simplest yet hopelessly addictive ways of making videos all to themselves, it's pretty much the opposite of a shocker that they managed a $20 million revenue in 2021. And more than just that, every single year, they've managed to up the ante with more and more incredible challenges, from bench pressing 405 pounds underwater to even walking on biplane wings mid-flight. And besides their natural aptitude for coming up with these challenges, they seem to know how to make a lot of money too, because they're one of the few people on this list who are verging into actual superstar territory, with a tour planned, which happens to be their 3rd, and even a 250-page long New York Times bestseller on their portfolio of achievements. Number 7, Ryan Kaji. Now, you may have had some idea of who the last 2 people were, but I'm willing to bet my entire channel that you guys can never guess who this guy is, at least not by his real name. Because, you see, the magic word in the world of Ryan Kaji is toys. That's right. Despite numerous crackdowns on advertisements on children's content, the record breaker of a YouTube channel still seems to be earning a bucket load of money. And while the whole $27 million that he, or more specifically his team, earned this year is less than last time, let's be honest here, no one's thinking any less of it. Number 6, Nastya. And well, Ryan is not the only kid in this town, so to speak, because actually up from last time, the Russian-born children's YouTube sensation managed to earn a very respectable $28 million to her name. Part of that did probably come from the spotter deal that her team made last year, which basically sold her previous videos as property to the platform. For those unfamiliar with her, however, Nastya is basically the equivalent of a vlogger, but for kids, doing the expected stuff of recording every day with food, travel, and mundane activity, part of the daily content. And by adding merchandise and an NFT collection to her roster, it's no wonder that she, of all people, is actually the highest paid female on all of YouTube. Number 5, Unspeakable. If you were a little underwhelmed that poor old Preston was the only Minecraft YouTuber on the list, let your worries go away. Because at number 5, with a wildly impressive $28.5 million to his name, we have Unspeakable to the rescue. Far from being just another gamer, however, he does seem to have a knack for more unusual stuff. Case in point, his video where he filled his room with living alligators for some reason. And while nothing else might connect the two, there is actually a very important thing that he has in common with Nastya. He too is a product of Spotter's buying scheme, saying that he sold his content to quickly build up his business instead of waiting for the videos to collect cash. And well, it got him on this list, so at least he's doing something right. Number 4, Rhett and Link. Coming up to our top bucks, we have one of the most iconic pairings on all of YouTube, the ever-fresh Rhett and Link. And having steadily expanded their good mythical empire to include even more bits like the Mythical Kitchen, a cooking show with a separate host, Josh Scherer, or the Mythical Accelerator, a fund that seeks to invest in up-and-coming YouTubers like the now blowing-up Jarvis Johnson. These two have definitely earned their shiny new position at number 4, along with a very shiny $30 million paycheck. Number 3, Markiplier. The only one of the YouTube gaming trifecta of him, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye to make it into this list, Markiplier is not only a YouTube juggernaut, but his work as a businessman is truly awe-inspiring. Because you see, one of the ways he managed to earn his $38 million was by pushing a very special line of merch celebrating Unus Annus, a show that he co-hosted with fellow YouTuber Ethan Nestor Darling, which he later removed from YouTube, generating a lot of nostalgia for the thing. So say what you will about the loud YouTuber trope, but let's face it, these guys can compete with the greatest of celebrities and the greatest businessmen at the same time now. Number 2, Jakepaul. Finally, before we reveal the single biggest earner on YouTube, we have the one and only— wait, him again? Well, yes actually. The younger of the Paul brothers and one of the most openly criticized YouTubers of all time, it seems as though if Logan Paul is the Hydra, Jake Paul is simply a fact of nature. Something that will always be there even if you try to ignore it. And having earned a whopping $45 million last year, which is A-list celebrity money. And even more interesting for him is the fact that he is somehow the furthest from YouTube of all the people on this list. That's right, Jake Paul, of all people, has moved on from YouTube. To what, you ask? Well, I better hope you were expecting a curveball, because as it turns out, Jake Paul is now officially more of a boxer than a YouTuber, using the latter part of his life as a promotion tool for his rapidly growing boxing identity. Number 1, mrbeast. Finally, at long last and to the surprise of absolutely no one here, the most well-earning person on YouTube right now is everyone's favorite, mrbeast. And while he and his obscenely successful videos keep getting more and more shocking, what's even more shocking is how much he's still able to grow, earning nearly twice what he did last year and climbing quite a few steps on the hierarchy level. That being said, with him being one of the few, let's just bite the bullet, him being the only person in recent memory to build a food empire that can compete with traditional companies out of thin air, mrbeast is somehow the one who's here to stay. And with that, his $54 million payday, putting him above the likes of Billie Eilish, Kim Kardashian, Angelina Jolie, and even BTS themselves, he's also the most incredibly strong force on any platform in history, which makes the fact that he's actually a decent person all the nicer to talk about. And well, on that note, we must end today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. With that, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.